What is going on, dudes? This is VaporTheGamer, and welcome back to another episode of Vapor Reacts. I hope you guys are having an amazing Sunday. There's not going to be any Saber Sunday, though. I got a lot of stuff I got to do today, but we're going to get this out. So, MatPat released another FNAF game theory yesterday. Here we go again. So this is the 5 Nights at Freddy's game theory video titled FNAF Security Breach. I know the big twist. I think. At least he put I think in there because he's just probably going all kinds of insane. This is going to be a long one, so I'm not going to waste any of your time. So everything will be a link in the description down below so you can check everything out for yourself along with the Game Theories channel. Please go subscribe, put the bell notification on so you can get notified for when more theories come out. So I'm going to click play on this bad boy. In 3, 2, 1. Boom. Oh man, here we go. Oh, it's the glitch man. I see him. Oh, I saw a purple guy. Don't follow him. Oh, I see Spring Bonnie right there. That's cool.
Oh. Welcome to Game Theory, the show that's always a bloody good time. Today, we have a few massive announcements before we get to the episode, so please skip to here if you're not interested in them. But I don't think you should do that because these aren't things
I
you're
have
gonna
to.
miss. First, not everything is going to be so cheery and bright this year, friends, because there's a dark twist to this merch launch. Theoryware X FNAF. The animatronics have taken over. Death coins are on the loose.
I have to show everybody this. This is awesome.
Five Nights at Freddy's itself to create this monstrosity.
I saw that. I want to get it, dude.
FNAF project ever. It's not every day that you get an ugly Christmas sweater with pizza detailing. Grab it now before it grabs you.
Oh my
I'm
gosh,
also
I need.
really proud of this hoodie I helped to create based off of everyone's favorite low-paying security guard position at your local pizzeria. So may your days be merry and bright, and may your nights be scary and full of fright. Anyway, like I said, links for all of that stuff is down below this video.
I'm gonna put that down there as well because I'm gonna get some stuff.
The live stream and working on the merch.
Heck yeah, man.
A lot going on, and in the middle of it all, more FNAF. FNAF Security Breach got its first trailer out during a PlayStation 5 announcement event, and man, does this new game look incredible.
Gregory, your friends are worried about you.
Long gone are the days of just looking at static-filled still image camera feeds, my friends. And before we move on, can I just say how cool it is to see an indie franchise started by one man working at Dollar General rise to the point that it's now getting a spotlight alongside time-honored franchises like Final Fantasy and God of War. And not only getting spotlight alongside them, getting more views than nearly everything else in that
That's what
showcase.
I mean, dude.
That's
they got
awesome.
like
Well
7
done,
million
views. Really well deserved. Now, based on the trailer, it looks like we'll be trapped inside of a Freddy Fazbear's.
I got chills just from that.
Playing a life or death
I'm itchy now because of
hide
it.
and seek against a killer, and it's that killer Vanny that I really want to dive into today. She's teased twice in the trailer. Once via a bunny-shaped shadow in the opening sequence, and again as the final jump scare. Now, we've suspected for a while that she's coming via teaser images on Scott's website, merch leaks, Easter eggs hidden throughout FNAF VR, all things that I've covered before in past theories. But the thing I wanted to look closer at today is her backstory and her relationship to Glitchtrap. Because even though this game hasn't come out yet, and we honestly don't know when it's coming out,
I have no idea. I'm already freaking out.
A ton about this new character. In fact, true to Scott's style of storytelling, we probably won't get that much of a backstory for Vanny in this new game. I don't know if you've noticed this about Scott's games, but important story bits tend to happen around the games rather than in the games. Let me explain with an example. In Sister Location, we end with Baby being a part of Ennard, and if you get the super secret ending, you see that she gets puked up into a sewer. Fast forward to FNAF 6, and there's suddenly 2 separate entities again, Scrap Baby and Molten Freddy. To 99.9% of the players, you would have no idea how or why that would have happened. And I can't blame them because the only way you would know that Baby got voted out of the Ennard tribe was via the source code on Scott's website, as well as a separate standalone site, FNAFworld.com. Just goes to show that when you're talking about FNAF, the game never really stops. And the thing is, I think Vanny is already getting treated this same way. The information about her, what is now getting her to kill, the big twist reveal about Vanny's true nature has already been laid out for us if you're paying attention to all parts of the FNAF universe. So if, unlike me, you don't have time to keep track of the 12 games, 9 books, dozens of ports, hundreds of toys, and a moon-faced animatronic and a pizza tree, well, that's why I'm here. Because all the pieces are out there in place for us, and now we're going to be putting them back together to understand the true backstory of Vanny.
Let's get it.
Bunny. Purple Guy 2.0 before Security Breach comes out.
Purple Girl.
Recently, the game FNAF Help Wanted got itself a mobile port. Big whoop, right? We've already seen this game 2 other times
That's
before.
literally
Once in VR,
what I thought
and again
at first.
In a flat console port. Don't get me wrong, love this game. Probably my favorite game of the franchise, but still, Scott, you ain't getting me to buy this for a 3rd time. He totally got me to buy it a 3rd time.
I bought it.
Because this is a mobile port, a lot of the game has been stripped away. Gone is the intro sequence, gone are some of the game modes, but most notably gone are the hidden cassette tapes that tell the story of Help Wanted's failed development. Now, if you remember back to a year ago, collecting all 16 of those hidden tapes in the original game inadvertently assembled our latest villain, Glitchtrap, piece by piece. And once fully together, he was able to capture us in the game and presumably escape back out into the real world. That's all gone now in the mobile version. In its place, though, maybe something better. Immediately upon opening up the game, it becomes clear that this mobile port is more broken than FNAF World 1.0. Got textures glitching out in both the main hub and in the various minigames. Now, obviously, these are intentional effects, and by zooming in and tapping on them repeatedly, honestly, I can't say exactly what I did to do it. I just was there a long time.
That's legit what I was doing.
The screen eventually fades to black, and suddenly you're presented with everyone's favorite part of the series, an 8-bit minigame with rudimentary gameplay steeped in symbolic lore.
Essentially.
It's actually more like 16-bit at this point, but still. We're told that this game is called Princess Quest, with you playing as a little girl lighting torches to unlock doors and running away from glitching bunny people. Glitching bunnies, you say? After making your way through a ruined castle and cemetery, you eventually unlock a long corridor that leads to a final lantern and, no points if you guessed it, Glitchtrap himself. The screen goes dark and suddenly you're taken back to the game's main hub. Now, this seems fairly self-explanatory, right? It's a reference to Glitchtrap in a game that had to eliminate him due to size constraints. But it's the details here that really matter. Not counting the torches in front of the 6 gravestones, which are very clearly references to the original 5 missing children.
Oh my gosh.
The child who possesses the
I
puppet.
never even thought about that.
There are 16 torches in total for the princess to light. This isn't a coincidence. It perfectly lines up with the 16 cassette tapes that you had to collect in the original Help Wanted in order to release Glitchtrap.
In fact,
Glitchtrap only appears once the 16th one is lit, further cementing that connection. But where things get really interesting is when you decode what Glitchtrap is saying. As the game ends, there's clearly a dialogue box along the bottom containing weird glitching text, but you'll notice that the patterns aren't random. Some shapes actually repeat themselves. These right here and these right here. It's actually a letter substitution code that spells out everyone's favorite phrase from the game.
I always come back.
And taking it all one step further, we can actually extract the audio from this moment. And do some audio trickery. By doubling the speed and then reversing it, we get this. I always come back, let me out. So in essence, Princess Quest is showing us a recreation of the events from the original Help Wanted. This does a couple of things for us. First, it basically proves 100% that this is, in fact, William Afton's spirit and not some sort of AI or code meant to replicate him. It is him through and through. Dude wasn't lying when he said he always comes back. He's got more lives than Jason Voorhees. He's also got himself a solid understanding of brand consistency. Afton always comes back. Secondly, though, what Princess Quest is doing is confirming for us the origin story of our new killer, Vanny, Vanessa. In the original game, the fate of Tape Girl was unclear because she sometimes encouraged us to collect the tapes and sometimes didn't. But here we get clarity on the whole story. Vanny is the princess with the lantern. She collects all the tapes, pieces, whatever, and gets taken over by Glitchtrap. This all confirms what we were speculating about before with Vanny in a previous theory from a year ago, that a young woman named Vanessa, Vanny for short, would be taken over by Afton.
Yeah, I remember this.
His name, brainwashed or partially controlled by a spirit living inside of her.
Yes, I hear you. I know. No. There's no miscommunication.
There's also a similar conversation currently hidden in the source code of Scott's website, except here you see both sides of the conversation. Stay the course.
I will.
Focus on my voice.
I will.
Don't let anyone lead you astray.
I won't.
Have you selected one?
I have.
The one that seems to be selected is Gregory from the new game's trailer.
Oh my gosh.
Be still. I think she's
Telling
found
off,
us.
man.
So, is that it? Just a recap of a lot of information we already knew? Are we just left
Great
to
voice.
speculate about the rest until Security Breach finally comes out? Well, no. You see, in the last year, there's been one final source of information about Vanny, and it's a big one. A game that I've largely ignored up until now, FNAF's augmented reality game, Special Delivery. If you haven't heard about this one, basically the concept is that animatronics get shipped to your home so you'll have yourself some new friends. Because let's be honest, fighting for your life against a malfunctioning robot is probably still better than trying to hold a normal conversation with a living, breathing human being. I think I've been dancing around this one just because the possible canonicity of characters like Shamrock, Freddy,
Yeah,
Liberty, Chica, and Clown Springtrap makes me have a nervous breakdown.
That's
but
what I'm
questionable
saying.
lore implications of flamethrower bear endo aside, this game has been seeding us more info over the entire last year about the history of Vanny and Glitchtrap, and it requires us to do one of the scariest tasks any FNAF game has ever required: reading emails.
Oh my goodness.
You see, the game will occasionally
It's-
share you on emails
I
that
remember
aren't
these, though.
intended for your eyes. On one side, we have ourselves the story of a company working on behalf of Fazbear Entertainment to disassemble old animatronics and scan their circuit boards into their computer system. And just like Tape Girl warned us about back in FNAF VR, this causes a virus to spread through the system. Quote from those emails, "Turns out that wasn't a glitch. We released a virus when we scanned that last circuit board. It's spreading really fast. We're gonna need all hands on deck." New email. "Hey Jim, just checking in. I emailed you earlier this week about a virus caused by one of your circuit boards, which is currently spreading throughout our system and causing serious problems. Please contact me ASAP. Thanks, best, Steve." So that is our
Sorry,
Glitchtrap
Steve.
origin story. And to me, it's especially interesting because I think it helps explain something that dates all the way back to FNAF 3. Recently in the series, we've learned that the FNAF games are canon in the games. Now, that's a really confusing sentence, so let me explain. In both FNAF VR and the Fazbear Frights books, it's confirmed that the urban legends about murders happening at Freddy's restaurants are mainstream enough to have gotten some video game spin-offs. Not necessarily the FNAF games that we know, and
No.
certainly not FNAF World, since everyone, including Scott, wants to forget that one, but games
I loved
inspired
FNAF
by the
World.
legends of the pizzeria. In FNAF VR, in fact, we're told that they were made by Fazbear Entertainment as a cover-up.
Fazbear Entertainment hired the game developer. Those indie games were designed to conceal and make light of what happened. This isn't just an attempt to rebrand. It's an elaborate cover-up.
And looking back on it, I believe that we've seen those games. I think we've played those games. They're the 8-bit minigames from FNAF 3, Mangle's Quest, BB's Air Adventure, Chica's Party, and Stage 01. Heck, they might even include the Take Cake, Give Gifts, etc. minigames from FNAF 2. Those are the games being referenced in the games. I mean, they even have those sorts of cheesy titles that would come with cheap Atari-style games of that era. And
gonna
how do we
say,
know
that's
all of
around
this,
the
and why am I
times
talking about it now? Because of
8-bit gaming.
Glitchtrap. It's easy to forget, but the last minigame that you have to play in FNAF 3 features a glitched out bunny hopping, I didn't even mean to put the pun there, hopping between the various minigames. This is the first appearance of
my
Glitchtrap. It's Afghan spirit
goodness.
trapped inside the circuit
I never
boards
even
of these
thought about the
retro
glitchy
games
bunny.
looking for an escape. An escape that doesn't actually get realized until he's scanned into a new modern computer system meant to produce FNAF VR. Now, admittedly, this is a bit confusing when it comes to the timeline. We know Freddy Fazbear's Pizza was founded in 1983, as we see from the VR coins in Help Wanted. In FNAF 1, Phone Guy tells us that the animatronics have been around for 20 years. That puts FNAF 1 in 2003, not 1993 like I previously thought. And based on the official description for FNAF 3, Fazbear's Fright and the discovery of Springtrap all
2017,
happened
wasn't it?
30 years after the closure of Freddy's, making that one roughly 2033. Now, we have no idea when
I'm way
and
off.
how Afton got a piece of his soul into the circuit boards, probably via his extreme agony at getting spring locked. But if this company is literally opening animatronic suits sent from Fazbear Entertainment and scanning the boards as implied by the emails, are we assuming that they opened up the Springtrap suit, completely ignored the dead body inside, and scanned it? Just doesn't seem like to me. Is Fazbear Entertainment rescuing the board after he was burned to death in FNAF 6? It's just odd. This is why I don't like to talk timeline with this series anymore. To me, the simplest solution here is that William Afton's soul is just in multiple places at once, split like a Harry Potter Horcrux, only instead of swords and scars, he's split between suits and circuit boards. And one of those iterations is Glitchtrap, stuck in the various games' codes until he's eventually released. But reminding all the way back to FNAF Special Delivery, there's a separate and related story happening in the secret inbox between Lewis and his fellow employee, Ness. Ness, as in Vanessa. It's Vanny again, my friends. Here we see a series of emails where Ness is acting weird, and Lewis, the IT guy, is honestly acting weirder because he's creeping on Ness. Here's a few highlights from these emails. Hey Ness, it's no big deal, but I wanted to reach out off the radar and remind you about the company policy about personal internet usage. Certain words and phrases trigger red flag reports, so your last order got automatically sent to me. Basically, anything mentioning torture is gonna raise the alarm. If you have any questions about the policy, let me know. We could even get coffee or something and go over all the words to avoid. And now I've raised my own red flag. Good thing I'm the one who gets the notification. Smiley, Lewis. Hey Ness, wanted to see if you're doing okay. I appreciate your taking my advice about red flag search terms. If I thought I'd have to file an incident report on you, I think I'd just have to quit instead. I was a little worried.
Well, flirtatious, aren't you, Lewis?
With you. One day you're researching flowers and the migration pattern of bees. Fascinating, right? And the next day you type in, how far can a human being be cut in half before losing consciousness? I figured maybe you're writing a screenplay or something. Always here if you need me, Lewis. Hey, Ness. So the word compliance by itself isn't gonna set off any red flags, but the sentence, how to induce compliance in human subjects and how to induce self-compliance did actually get my attention. I think the answer might involve chocolate chip cookies. Always works for me. I also thought it was strange that these were immediately followed by searches that couldn't possibly have any relevant answers for you. Did you search for help by itself? Anyway, my offer still stands if you want to go over the company policy. I'm free any day after work. We could grab dinner or coffee if you want, Lewis. Oh, Lewis, when you say stuff like that, it makes me a sad panda. But HR violations aside, these conversations tell us a lot about Vanny's mental state.
I use that
she is
phrase
sharing
all the time.
control
Love
of
it.
herself with Glitchtrap. That's why we get references to her searching the internet for help. It's part of her psyche crying out for anything, anyone who can save her, anything that'll provide an escape. It's also why it's so important that Lewis calls out the searches for inducing compliance in human subjects and inducing self-compliance. That is Glitchtrap.
I was gonna say, there's no way that she would write that on herself.
Vanny, over her psyche. This further confirms something that we talked about in my last theory on Vanny. In that episode, we talked about how she's a reluctant follower, that Afton isn't in complete control. On Scott's Voices.com page, where he tends to hire out actors for the various vocal roles in the game, Vanny's listing was for a character named Reluctant Follower. So this woman is clearly a devotee, brainwashed or controlled by Afton to an extent, but a part of her is actively fighting back, hesitant to do what he asks, which makes me think that in Security Breach, we may be able to save or redeem her. In fact, knowing that may help us out with the gameplay. Maybe it's a secret or a true ending condition. That, my friends, is what I believe to be the big twist that awaits us in Security Breach. Wait, as I finish this video, of course, new statues just dropped with important lore reveals, so let's just talk about these real fast. With Gregory hiding inside of Freddy, definitely looks like my idea about gameplay being a version of hide and seek is absolutely confirmed. Or maybe Gregory is just piloting an 80s era bear-shaped Gundam suit. Either way, I am totally living for it. As for the other statue that just dropped, looks like Vanny is gonna be taking a page out of the Afton playbook. The classic security guard by day and serial killer at night. Old habits die hard, I guess, but in Vanny's case, here's my question. Is she gonna remember it? My guess is no. I think it's gonna be a classic case of Jekyll and Hyde. But who knows? I guess we're just gonna have to wait and see what it is.
Oh my
Hear that
gosh.
some big things are coming to this franchise before the end of the year. And I'm not just talking about all that cool new merch we dropped.
Which I need to
which,
get.
as one last reminder, is all available right below this video.
It'll be in mine as well.
Hey, that's just a theory. A game theory.
Hey.
Thanks for watching.
Loved it. Hey, no. It's not gonna work. It's not gonna work, Matt. It's not. Dudes, that was quite the game theory, I gotta say. Some of those were just insane. Like, even going back to the Help Wanted mobile port, I wasn't gonna buy it. I was like, okay, this is another Help Wanted. I have it for the Switch. I have it for VR. Like, that's it. That's all I needed. But there was more lore added to the mobile game, which brought us to the Princess Quest, which apparently is quite the great explanation of the origin of Vanny, being that she's the princess, and all of those different torches that you have to light, all 16 being the exact amount of tapes you need to find in Help Wanted, which also is removed in the mobile version, makes a lot of sense as well. Because in the VR game, you have to collect 16 tapes to get Glitchtrap to appear, and then the same thing with the torches, you have to light 16 of them before Glitchman appears. And also going back to those 8-bit mini games way back in, I think, FNAF 3 with that glitchy bunny that's able to jump between mini games and stuff, that blew me away. Like, honestly, I didn't think that that would be Glitchtrap, but I see it now. As in the last videos that I even talked about with Vanny being Vanessa, I think that kind of summed it up for the most part, being that she's going to be a security guard by day, crazy evil serial killer by night. But that is so weird that like those AR emails actually explained a lot. I just don't like playing FNAF AR personally, but man, that was insane. I can't wait for this game to come out so badly. Oh my gosh. That was the Five Nights at Freddy's game theory video that just got released yesterday by the Game Theorists, titled FNAF Security Breach, I Know the Big Twist, I think. Well, you know what? You may be right, buddy. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below if you're gonna get some Game Theory FNAF merch, because I'm thinking about it. And everything will be linked in the description down below so you can check everything out for yourself. Okay, along with the Game Theorists channel, please go subscribe, put the bell notification on so you can get notified for when the big stuff comes out. Also, check out the merch page, which I will also put a link down there below. Speaking of merch, we are in the midst of trying to find an artist who's going to make some Christmas VTG merch, which we're going to hopefully launch by December 1st, if not a little bit later, but we're gonna get it before Christmas. So like it if you enjoyed, subscribe for more videos, and I'll see you in the next one. So bye.